Okay, let's rewind to a Saturday morning in August 2025. Alex Hormozi sat down just like me, and over the next 9 hours, that little short time span, he sold 3 million of his own books. In one day, he didn't just beat the world record for non-fiction, Prince Harry's record, one by the way that stood for years prior to that, but instead he actually broke that in 3 hours, and that part there just never stood right to me. Because looking back at it, he was never really trying to sell you a book. He was running a magic trick, the same one that he's been running for the 10 years prior, and the same one that all these guys reaching the top levels are doing at the same time. And that's holding one hand out where you watch and focus your attention to, and then they have this other hand building the entire fortune. Because if we actually backtrack 8 years from that exact day, this man had exactly $1,036 to his name. And I feel like that story is something worth giving a bit of attention to, no? So I'm going to show you exactly what happened and everything in between, including all the little saucy bits. So if we want to figure out how he actually did this, well, we're going to break it down into 4 simple little chapters. Firstly, the origin, where he actually came from, the one where he actually got out of that hole. Thirdly, the success, where did the money actually come from, and it's probably not how you actually think it did. And then number 4, the mechanism of how this actually worked. Because remember, on this channel, this is not just about giving you a little bit of a documentary. We're giving you the source of how these personal brands are outperforming everyone else. Because we have the data to back it, and our research is just better. Let's refocus, and we'll start at the origin. He's a first-generation Iranian American, raised in Baltimore. He did everything right on paper first, you know, the simple graduation, getting a good job with a decent starting salary. I mean, he was doing management consultancy, and then he did what every smart person does, which is just drop it at 23 years old. Because in the end, it was a soul-sucking job, as he describes it, right? And to be fair, I haven't worked in that, but I would imagine it is. He drove to the other side of the country to do probably what is the least prestigious thing that someone can do, which is open a gym. And it's crazy because by 24, he had 5 different locations. But there was one slight issue. The first one was kind of failing. It was kind of bleeding money because in the end, he was very good at just filling these gyms up, but maintaining it was another thing. And that was a very different side of the business, of course. So he would fill the room up with free trials, all the social proof in the world, all this marketing, because in the end of the day, he's not a fitness man. I mean, the guy's buff, don't get me wrong. He was a marketing guy who happens to own gyms. And that's where chapter 2 came into play. This is where basically almost all collapsed because he was running 5 gyms at this time, right? And as he called it, literally the worst 6 months of his life. And this is a number that tells the whole story. It was 2016 December. His bank account, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, fell to $1,036. He's stacking debt, he's sleeping on the floors. That's what he's famous for, being at the very bottom of the barrel. And that's what I mean, is the part that everyone quotes him on. This is the inspirational part, right? What he realized on that floor is that the gym was never the asset. The playbook on filling the gym was the asset. This man could walk into a dying gym, run a little promo, and then fill it within a couple days' time. So he asked himself, wait a second, let's just, think again. Why would I actually run the gym? I mean, there's a bunch of people who need this service. Well, why can't I just do that? Then he created Gym Launch, but the first version was actually quite clumsy. It wasn't really put together as well as it should have. He literally would fly salespeople to the other side of the country and do multiple teams at once. Because he had no control of the owners, it was very difficult to scale, so he simply just stripped it down. So instead, he realized, wait, okay, I'm still doing the work. Why don't I just license the system? The ads, the scripts, the launch model, everything was packaged into one system. And he simply went, look, here to those gym owners. And the numbers did the talking, let's be real. He did 6.8 million in the first year and $26 million in the second, 17 of which were pure profit, and he was only 28 years old. He went from running these 5 gyms to actually being paid by thousands of different ones, without owning the treadmills, without having to worry. He didn't get rich doing the fitness, he got rich selling it. And that's what you hear over and over again. It's when you're in a gold rush, don't go for the gold. Sell the shovels. So chapter 3, this is where it all starts coming together, right? This is the success part of the story. So the first part of this is in 2021 when he sells the majority of the company just like that, 66%. And in the meantime, he'd also be working on a supplement company which he sold for $46 million. All cash, walking away, rich life, good life, happy wife. And then the funny part comes. This is when he actually started doing it for free. He had that whole playbook that he basically sold this whole time, and he basically gave it out for free. He would literally make books and give them out for the price of a single sandwich, and he sold millions of each one. He then built a YouTube channel doing the same thing, podcasts, and so on and so forth. literally gaining millions of subscribers, and then also just showing people how the machine engine, like this whole operation works, right? Because in the end, it was never about the ad money. It was never about making profit off of these things. It was simply just helping other business owners. Literally, this man did it for the love of the game, so respect to him, right? But secretly, that was the funnel. So let's just have a think. Where did the money actually come from? This is the reframing of everything. It's the aha moment. Behind the scenes, in 2020, he launched acquisition.com, which is his new company. This is in the meantime while he sold those other two businesses off prior. The whole idea here was just to give out as much free information as possible, so as many founders and other people would come to him for a handing help. And what he does instead is now he takes a chunk of the equity, drops in the playbook, and then he walks away with arguably huge stakes in big companies, making even more money than he was before. And instead of selling the dream like he prior was, he's now owning parts of everyone else chasing that exact dream, which if you think about it is pretty genius, let's be real. He basically paid a reported $400,000 for that domain, and now his audience was only people doing $500,000 to $50 million a year. And those people all came from literally that free audience that you built online. Whereas you would think, right, because it's free, because it's, trust me, the leads that this man gets are top. And the reason is his understanding of the game is also top notch as well. And then he did the cleanest proof of this of all time. He bought himself a major stake in School, the same platform that everyone uses to host communities, info products, all that kind of stuff, which now has 17 million users. And in my opinion, he has a major crucial role to that. And is perfect because it's the platform that people can use to go ahead and chase their own dreams as well. He did that full flywheel strategy, which we're gonna get into in just a second, because now we're at chapter 4, the how. What was the asset this whole time? I mean, the coolest part to this all is looking at his transformation from going to zero to hero. And you can see that every step along the way just manages to go higher in a perfect way and still preach off that last one. And that's a very difficult thing that you need to go ahead and do as an entrepreneur. Because at first it was about the fitness, then he changed it about the knowledge, then it was the attention, and then he used that to go ahead and create this empire of acquisition.com that it is right now. So now let's track forward to August 2025, like we said in the beginning of this video. This was the time as of his 4-part book series, where he needed to go out of his way and launch a $100 million book. It was finally at that last one, and this is the one where he is explaining $100 million money models. Over the span of months of marketing and the numerous different techniques throughout social media platforms. I mean, this guy was pushing ads on every single platform. Waiting list was up to 1 million by the time that he started his funnel, by the time he started his live webinar. And out of the 15 different models that he shows to make money online, literally monetize, he used 12 of those to go ahead and collect all those leads for this singular launch. From his YouTube videos to Instagram videos, TikTok, everything was on point. This guy was putting out newsletters and every single other way that is basically comprehensible when launching something. But this is what he did so well that most people normally fail on, and this is the least glamorous part of the business. Because it's not just a singular platform he's promoting on X, on YouTube, like I've mentioned. Emails, affiliates, all these kind of different things. And because it's all organic, including School and other places that you normally can't really track, it is almost impossible for someone on a low budget, on a low scale, to be able to collect all that data and understand what points are pushing the most, are getting you the most leads, getting you the most calls, getting you the most signups, the most leads, and so on and so forth. The really cool part is that he nailed this down to the point. He understood exactly what attention he was getting from every single platform and funneled it into one simple system. Because if you can imagine doing multiple different ad campaigns, not only paid, but also doing them organically through YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, literally any platform, including emails and everything else, well, it's an absolute pain to know where to put your money into and where your money is actually coming out from. That ability, the ability to see exactly what piece of organic content has made you the money, same one that Hormozi's team used, is exactly like Trakyo, which can literally pinpoint exactly where your dollar came from the very beginning of that lead's journey. Which post, which video, which hook perform the best. You can test these all separately because each link will give you a specific end destination. So while everyone else is posting hundreds of things and wondering what is working and what's not, someone like Alex Hormozi is using these tools to their advantage and literally knowing down to the dollar exactly where what's going. So you don't need a team like his. Instead, you can use something like Trakyo. And yes, this YouTube channel is Trakyo's, so go ahead, check the link in the description. Let's move past that and let's move on to the playbook. How did he actually get this done? What are the nitty-gritty analytics that we are looking for, the saucy, the spicy juice that have been hiding the whole time? The point being, if you strip away everything, it's a very simple system that he's come up with. He worked out, he gave it his all, he tried running a gym, realized that it didn't work because people value knowledge. The same way everyone sells info nowadays, this guy discovered it a couple years ago. And now he's using it to his advantage at such a large scale that most people can't even comprehend. This man is a genuine genius, and systems like his are some of the most well thought out programs you can find on the internet, and that's why everyone goes there for a reason. Stick around for more of these videos because they're coming, I promise. Comment which people you actually want to go ahead and see, because I'm going to tell you now, we're going to put some bangers out there. And lastly, it wouldn't be a YouTube video if I didn't ask the sub, so go ahead, do that. You know where to find me, yeah?